Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in, right? So, I did all of this all wrong. My scheduling just all type of messed up. So I do not expect too many people to be listening in. This is somewhat kind of last minute because of the way I schedule this. So I understand. I understand. Anyway, um, so yes, Miss Samantha Cooker and the art of reframing genocide, right? So we will be speaking about Miss Samantha Cooker making excuses and acting dumb, right? Making excuses for Cynthia G and her channel being demonetized and her having to, create a new channel and whatnot, and all the excuses for that Miss Samantha Cooker conjured up in her mind. Um, so once again, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let's go through it. Um, you can't openly advocate for genocide. I don't know what it is that's causing so many black women, and you know what it really is. Let's pause right here before I even say I don't know what it is. This is what happens when you stay in your bubble a little too long. This is what happens when you stay in your echo chamber a little too long. You actually think your extremist rhetoric is justifiable. You actually think your extremist rhetoric is justifiable. Speaking about aborting black male sons and speaking about black male babies, speaking about aborting black male babies and thinking that you're saying something novel and important by saying, yeah, because they don't build for us. Yeah, that's the problem. Black men are dangerous to black women. Black men harm black women. And even for the ones that don't harm black women, they don't build and they don't do so. What's the point in bursting them in the first place? You think you're saying something novel and that's excusable even from white racist folks. You're being a little too loud, too blatant, right? Y'all have been in y'all echo chambers and your little bubbles for so long, you think what you're saying is not absolutely insane language. Dear black women, there is nothing that black men are saying to that level. Nothing. There's nothing on that level. Calling you ugly, it's crazy because it's like you go into a fight with someone with your fist, or you go in maybe with a knife and they pull out a nuke, right? Right? Calling you ugly, the appropriate response for saying that you're unattractive is not, okay, we'll just abort you then. What? Right? Mr. Z doesn't compare black women to non-black women, but for the black men that do, comparing black women to non-black women and then saying, there's stuff they could work on. The appropriate response is, maybe we shouldn't birth you. That's not the appropriate response. What? Right? But it is the appropriate response when you think that black men should be worshiping at the altar of black women because black men aren't white men, right? I mean, black men, don't you understand you have to apologize for your existence every minute of every day because you didn't build Wakanda? You didn't make black women white women. You didn't make black women upper middle class white women. So you should be groveling at black women's feet and apologizing every day for slavery. Oops. And Jim Crow. Yikes. Forget the fact that it was white people that put black people through that and black women through that. Black men, it's your fault. Ain't that right, Miss Samantha Cooker? Right? These people are so angry at black men that black men didn't make them upper middle class white women, that they're okay with talking genocidal. And when YouTube and white men flex on them and say, you can't talk like this, they find some way to still blame black men for it. Or black women that love black men. The mammies. Right? So let's be very clear. Dear Samantha Cooker, she goes into this segment where she starts speaking about in train tracks. She goes into this segment where she starts speaking about, how did black men let someone attractive and fit and intelligent, like Cynthia G be single? Like, why is Cynthia G messing around with Rob and having Rob's kid in the first place? Someone like her should have been off the market. I don't know where y'all get this from, but dear women, you don't get to judge women and tell us which one of them is desirable or not. That's not how it works. Number one, as Mr. Z said before, people that y'all think are appealing, men don't find appealing. That's why Cynthia G don't got a white man. Oops. Broken ass Azealia Banks even got a goddamn white man, and Cynthia G don't. Number one. Number two, just because someone is intelligent and maybe even attractive and well-spoken does not mean they're a good partner, does not mean they're going to be a good girlfriend and a good wife. Where do y'all get this from? Once again, this is a neoliberal assessment of a whole lot of stuff. Y'all letting y'all inner Milton Friedman shine a little too much. Your Ayn Rand is shining a little too much. Maybe y'all should check out Ayn Rand and see how bitter, old, and angry she was. How ornery she was. Your inner Ayn Rand is showing a little too much. Well, Cynthia G, you know, she's fit and she's attractive and she's well-spoken and she's this and that. What that mean about her being a girlfriend and a wife, though? To a black man especially, but to any man. What does that mean? Right? Outside of the 30 pounds of makeup and we never seen her real hair type thing. Oops. Right? Y'all are excusing. It's so fascinating watching women tie themselves into pretzels to say, by the way, black man, you know it's still somehow your fault, right? How can I find a way to blame black men? So Cynthia G knowingly had a child from a man who had multiple children from multiple women. Knowingly, let's say that one more again. Knowingly, one more time, knowingly. And watching Samantha Cooker tie herself into a pretzel by saying, essentially, well, none of you Negroes is good anyway, and the ones of you that are good, y'all are gay, and the ones that are y'all that are good that are not gay, y'all are with white women, and the ones that are of y'all that are not gay, and not with white women, and are single, something else is defective and deficient about you. So it didn't matter who she got pregnant from anyway. It's essentially what Miss Samantha Cooker is saying. Black men are like wholly deficient and defective, so it doesn't really matter, right? Ain't that right, Miss Samantha Cooker? So Miss Samantha Cooker goes on to do because you know they got to compare black men to non-black men. You know they got to do it. You know she got to do it, right? So apparently non-black men are wifing up all the women worth a damn in the Latino community, Asian community, white community. Never mind the fact that the median age for women, the median age for first-time marriages for women across America is 30 years old now. Never mind that. Oops. Uh-oh. If the median age is now 30 years old, you know what that means, Miss Cooker? That means about half of women are getting married after the age of 30. Yikes. Once again, you don't have no pressure for the white hyper-capitalists that they'll flip the whole game on you, but you do got a whole lot of pressure with black men. You got a whole lot of issues with black men. Not the economists that done rig this thing up, right? Not the technocrats, white ones. Huh. No issue with the technocrats. No issues with the economists. No issues with the social designers. Mainly white. Almost exclusively white, actually. Nope. Your issues with black men. Uh-huh. And you're talking out your ass so much, you're saying things that are like factually inaccurate. Once again, median first-time marriage for women now is 30 years old, according to Brookings Institute researcher Dr. Richard Reeves. But I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Miss Samantha Cooker. Your anecdotal experiences matter more than the facts and the research and the data. Ain't that right? Huh? Ain't that right? Y'all really don't know what y'all talking about. Or you do know, but you're trying to gaslight black men with the mythical, magical, all-knowing, all-seeing, right? Omnipotent, omniscient white man. Huh. This thing is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But y'all gotta keep on trying to gaslight black men with these omnipotent, omniscient white men, right? Who's marrying their women and they know, wait a minute, aren't half of Americans single right now? Let's according to the American Enterprise Institute. So once again, Mr. Z isn't pulling this out of his ass, Miss Samantha Cooker. According to the American Enterprise Institute, 26% of Americans are, by the way, this was in 2017, 2018 data, so it got worse. But let's go through it. 26% of poor Americans are married, 39% of middle class Americans, and 56% of upper middle class Americans and above are married. I didn't say black people, I said Americans. Huh. Right? I didn't say black people, I said Americans. Not only that, but marriage is becoming more and more an elite institution. Right? Because Samantha Cooker is speaking like these people, like the best, like black men are the worst thing to ever happen to the universe, and these non-black people are the best. These non-black men, I'm sorry, these non-black men. Right? Not to mention, and I'm going to post it in my community tab, median household income as of 2022 was $74,000. I said median household income. $74,000 a year. I mean, half of Americans' households are earning less than $75,000 a year. But these people take life seriously. They're all about their money and they're all about their education, right? Oh, wait. About the education piece. 60-40 split for college enrollment. The largest drop-off percentage-wise and raw number-wise was white men. White young men not going to college or university no more. Huh. I don't know, Miss Samantha Cooker. You're looking kind of shaky. All your arguments are looking kind of shaky. By the way, links in the description for the video I'm responding to. Right? I don't know, Miss Samantha Cooker. And KW Dawn says, Cynthia G is struggling to raise $15K. That should be pocket change for black women for black women who are strong, independent, and out-earn black men. Shaking my damn head. Where's the sisterhood? Exactly. Right? Exactly. Right? Marriage is plummeting around the country. Birth rate is plummeting around the country. But according to Miss Samantha Cooker, right? According to Miss Samantha Cooker, these other non-black men take marriage more seriously and, all of that. Oh, yeah, and she was her subscribers were talking reckless in the comment section also. Right? You don't see no 18-year-old, white women don't play that. You don't see no 18-year-old men laying up on white women's couches. Meanwhile, 30 to 35% of men under the age of 30 live at home with their parents. Uh-oh. I promise y'all be talking out y'all ass. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Whenever you press them, you know what they start to say? Well, from my experience, wait, so you think your anecdotal experience matter more than the facts? From my experience, from the white women I work with, none of their sons live at home. Yeah, but what about the good third of white men, men across America under the age of 30 that do live at home? What about that? You think that's not a good chunk of white men? White men make up about 60 or some odd percent of the male population in America. You don't think that matters? What are y'all talking about? Y'all just talking out y'all ass. All it is to try to gaslight black men to be white men that don't even exist, or that exist in very small numbers. They build, they do, they marry, they do this, and da-da-da, and then we show them the numbers, and from my experience, Cynthia G got her channel snatched because she sounds like a genocidal maniac. She admitted, not even admitted, she straight up said, oh yeah, I'm trying to destroy the black community. Her words. Cynthia G sounds like a genocidal maniac. She don't even try to hide. Well, what did Cynthia G say? She's only telling the truth. She's only stating facts. All through her comments and people, all through Samantha Cooker's comments, are women saying that. Thank you for standing up for Cynthia G. She didn't say anything wrong. Wait, you think you could openly advocate? Let me say this again. So much in the United Nations is paying attention to Israel, trying to make sure they don't genocide the Palestinians. We know what's going on. I'm not going to speak about it on my channel. And yet, black women think they can advocate for genocide and for eugenics, more like eugenics, on YouTube? You think you could talk eugenics talk on YouTube? Y'all are crazy. And once again, it's because you're in your bubbles. You're in your echo chambers. You don't think you're saying anything that insane anymore. Remember, these are supposed to be the moral arbiters of everything in the black community. Meanwhile, you know, Kim Foster's doing one of these blink and you'll miss it comments. You divestors and swirlers. I don't know what y'all talking about, but y'all not talking about liberation and y'all not talking about this and that. No, Kim Foster, no, you got to go way harder than that. The way you talk about black men in class, and by the way, dear Mr. Obsidian, I saw that comment. I saw the back and forth that you posted. Yeah, of course she think we beneath her. As I said, black women like Kim Foster are the petite bourgeoisie of the black community, and they want to stay as such, and all they got is nothing but crappy talk for everyday black men like yours truly. Meanwhile, these women can't really tell you what the hell they've done for other black women, other than try to gaslight them on some, yeah, we're all women and we're all black women. You're the black women's class enemy, Kim Foster. How about that? If you think that the average black man is beneath you, you think the average black woman is beneath you too. The only difference is you gaslight her with all type of we're in solidarity because we're black women type of rhetoric. You're full of crap. Right? I saw that comment, Obsidian. So you're admitting you and a lot of your people are beneath me. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right? Yeah, you're right because you're a 7.2. We're beneath you, 7.2. Yeah, that's it. Right? You still trying to run to white daddy government to go do something to Obsidian? Miss 7.2? Yeah, that's it. Right? But back to Miss Samantha Cooker. So she swears she's saying something. And all it really is gaslighting language because she don't know what the hell she's talking about, or she knows what she's talking about and she's still trying to lie to black men and lie to black women, actually. Yeah, right? And how tone deaf can you be to be using genocidal language right now? You got the war in Ukraine going on. You have what's going on between Palestine and India. I mean, excuse me, I say Palestine and India. Palestine and Israel, sorry. Right? And you're speaking eugenics and genocidal talk. Oh, excuse me, Miss Samantha Cooker. You're excusing that type of rhetoric. Talking about, you know, black men been punching down. Wait, punching down? I thought black women were better than black men. If black women are better than black men, aren't you the one punching down? Y'all gotta get y'all story straight. If black women are better than black men, how are black men the one punching down? I thought that was your whole project, is to prove to us that you're better than us. Well, if you're better than us, then aren't you the one punching down? Aren't you the abusive ones? Aren't you the ones using white standards to beat up on black men? Choose one. Are you the victim or not? How are black men punching down to the people that are better than them? Uh-oh. Wait, because y'all brag about y'all college degrees, okay, and you brag that you're the ones in the corner offices and you're the ones who's, you know, fastest growing businesses, startup businesses, right, and all of that. right? And black men are not on your level. Wait, so if all of that is true, which, okay, fine, granted, all of that is true, then how are black men the ones punching down? Huh? How are black men the ones punching down? You can't claim moral high ground while being complete and total assholes, while being verbally abusive, while being antagonistic. See, y'all want to reframe your antagonism and your insults of black men as defending yourself from black men. Why? Because niggas might be calling y'all ugly every once in a while. Uh-oh. Imagine that. I ain't really interested in her. Your mom should have aborted you. What? Your mom should have swallowed you. What? Right? Imagine that. And she ain't really my type. You broke ass bum. What? Right? I don't like the way she sounds. And their response to that would be, you should have never been born anyway. Okay, all right. To think that, what did Cynthia G do? All she did was state facts. Right? Cynthia G, though, I don't care who you get with, just don't get with black men. Yeah, that's Cynthia G. Because all she did was state facts, right? I'm not telling black women who to get with. I'm just telling you to stay away from black men. Yeah, facts. Right? Alexa, cue up the more you know with the rainbow in the background. Because that's facts, right? I don't care who you get with, just stay away from black men. A black woman saying that. Yeah, that's facts. A black woman saying, I don't care. I'm just trying to destroy the black community. A black woman that says, yeah, black men didn't do this and they didn't do that, so why have them? Why birth them? Yeah, that's facts. She's just stating the obvious, right? She's just telling the quote unquote truth, right? Yeah. This is what counts for wisdom in the black women empowerment sphere, right? Yeah. Yeah. Lying on white men's dick. That's what counts as wisdom in black women empowerment land, right? And the Kishocracy. Shout out to Dark Vulcan, right? And the Kishocracy, what counts for wisdom and knowledge, is spewing a bunch of crap that can easily, with a Google search, be proven wrong, inaccurate, at worst an exaggeration. Wow. Right? So once again, they go so far as to play down white supremacy. So of course, Miss Samantha Cooker plays down white supremacy. Like, the men, of course, if they value family and they marry early, then of course they're gonna do better. Is it really white supremacy, or is he doing what he's supposed to do? I mean, according to the white British man, the white man. Oh, and Richard Reeves is like 6'2". So according to like the whitest white man ever, it's anti-blackness that's mainly put on the shoulders of black men. So, dear Miss Samantha Cooker, black woman that doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, the whitey McWhite man that's a naturalized American citizen but was born and raised and grew up in Britain, that's now a PhD researcher, at least he's a researcher, I'm pretty sure he's a PhD, he says it's anti-blackness. And your response to that is what? Oh, once again, not only anti-blackness that sits on the shoulders of black men. And your response to that is, oh, your anecdotal BS crap. Yeah. I swear black women think they saying something. Black women, like Miss Samantha Cooker and like Cynthia G, swear they saying something. Miss Samantha Cooker, Miss Cynthia G. Your card been pulled. Your number been. We been knew your number. It's called radical feminism. Look it up. You're not saying nothing new. White radical feminists were saying this 40 plus years ago. Don't have male sons. Don't have sons, right? Should we even be giving birth to sons? Maybe we should be on one side of the planet and they're on the other side of the planet. We're on one hemisphere, they're on the other hemisphere. White women were saying that 40 plus years ago. You're not saying nothing new. And white women were saying about the white man that you want. Oops. What are you talking about? You just don't know what you're talking about. Why is someone like Cynthia G, why was she with Rob in the first place? Why was Rob able to get her in the first place? She's a loser. Oops. Maybe you value what you see in Cynthia G, but clearly other men are like, eh. Wait a minute, you think we want to be wifed up to Bobby's World mom sounding ass Cynthia G? Midwestern white mom sounding ass Cynthia G? Wait a minute, let me get this right. You think there's a preponderance of black men? From my understanding, Cynthia G's in a relationship with a black man currently. Last time I checked, I don't know how true that is, but okay. You think a preponderance of black men, though, are going to be in one room hearing their girlfriend, hearing their fiance, hearing their wife talk about aborting black males while they're in the other room? How many non-black men can deal with that, let alone black men? Sitting in one room, listening to a black woman talk about aborting black babies, black male babies, because black men ain't built Wakanda for black women. Because black men won't do for black women. Translation, black men won't kiss black women's ass. Call this thing egalitarian when it really is a matriarchy, when it really is a gynocracy. And because black men won't just bow down to the gynocracy, well, burn it to the ground. Ain't that right, Cynthia G? Ain't that right, Samantha Cooker? Samantha Cooker, even you're admitting that black women are doing more to attract non-black men, primarily white men. Even you tacitly admitted that. Even you admitted that's anti-black. And by the way, it still ain't working. It's called white supremacy. Maybe read a book. Oh, I forgot. You said, is it white supremacy? Boy, y'all want to make it a character flaw in black men so bad. Meanwhile, the white researcher, you know, the white man that's a researcher that knows more than you do, he says it's anti-blackness. But, you know, what does he know? He's only a Brookings Institute researcher. Huh. Boy, y'all anti-blackness. Your inner Ayn Rand, your inner Milton Friedman, your inner David Duke, oops. Your inner Adolf Hitler, yikes. Right? And you think you could continue with these mythical, magical, non-black men? When we already know, the data is telling us that you're lying to our face. Miss Samantha Cooker, the data is telling us that you're lying to our face. The data is telling us that 1/3 of millennial, what was it, Gen Z or millennials, buying homes under the age of 30 are getting transfers from parents and grandparents. Huh? The data from the dating bot is showing us how women of color, not exclusive to black women, respond first to white men, then to men of their respective races. The data is telling us that marriage is becoming more and more of an elite institution. But black women are so hard up on beating up on black men and insulting black men, y'all don't even understand the class element of this all, right? And you don't care to. Rich white elite men are screwing you in more ways than one. And you're so hell-bent on beating up on black men, you're not even doing what you should do to make your life easier. You know, go at the rich white elite men that you actually want to be with. Critique this system. I forgot what the cooker said. White supremacy. Is it really white supremacy? Or are they just doing what they're supposed to do? Right? God. So the neo-Nazi contingent of the black community, Miss Samantha Cooker swears she's saying you're not saying anything. Cynthia G got her channel snatched because she sounds like a genocidal eugenics maniac. Even white folks knew better than to continue that eugenics talk after World War II. Even they knew better. Planned Parenthood, anyone? Anyway, even they knew better. And yet Cynthia G's over here with the eugenics talk, and you think that's excusable because you're bitter and angry. And then you, what? You know, why would Cynthia G? She should have never been single. These other men, they don't allow slim, intelligent, educated women to be single. Are you serious? Wait, white women are freezing their eggs left and right. Educated, well-to-do, well-off white women are fretting because they're freezing their eggs because they can't, quote-unquote, meet men on their level. That means white men, Miss Samantha Cooker. Wait, Jewish women are even doing it more too. Even East Asian women. What are y'all talking about? You know, for a group of people that can't claim to be so goddamn intelligent, y'all are really ignorant. I don't mean ignorant to insult you. I mean ignorant like you really don't know. Or do you know and you just, you know, trying to gaslight black men with these omnipotent, omniscient, you know, white men. These mythical, magical white men, right? And Better Uses, and thank you for the super chat. Better Uses, Cynthia G is the biggest struggle bandit of them all. Godspeed to whoever took that one for the team. You will be remembered. Right, bruh? It's fascinating listening to these people talk like we don't have high-speed internet. Like you can access almost all the information in the world in this little handy-dandy device called a cell phone. And they just still talking crazy. But Samantha Cooker literally looked us in our collective faces on the internet and spewed a bunch of nonsense that you can Google and see. Actually, young people are single as hell. They're not having as many children. They're not getting married. The divorce rate lowered because the marriage rate lowered. Can't get divorced if you never got married. The birth rate is in the crapper. Young people not buying homes the way they used to because the money. For the people that are getting married, the median age for women went up. The median age for men went up. And yet Miss Samantha Cooker just talking out her ass. Swear she's saying something. I promise you she swears she's saying something. Right? And the reason why we're covering this is to show even when white folks, or maybe some South Asians and across the country, across the world that are you know, they've been hired to review these type of things. But 2 years later, even when white folks say, yeah, this is a bridge too far, you might have went too far with the rhetoric, I don't know if we can actually allow you to be speaking about eugenics and genocide on our platform. So essentially, when non-black folks say, "Yeah, this is a bit too much," Cynthia G plays it down like she ain't saying nothing, and Samantha Cooker backs her up, and so does Storm Monroe. I mean, she ain't saying that, and plus it was so long ago. It was 2 years ago. Wait, did Cynthia G stop saying that? No. Okay, then what's the problem? Samantha Cooker then goes on to say, I'm pretty sure it was a mammy that got her flagged. I bet you it was a mammy. You mean a black woman that loves black men, or a black woman, at least even if she don't love black men like that, might have said, you know what, this is a bit much. This is too much. This is too far. So she's a mammy because she doesn't want to hear eugenics and genocidal rhetoric about black men. So she's a mammy now. It's interesting listening to Samantha Cooker reframe this as if Cynthia G did nothing wrong. I mean, all she's talking about is eugenics of black boys and men because black boys and men didn't build black women in Wakanda. Or, at worst, they call them ugly. They call them baby mamas. They call them Keishas. You think any of that pejorative, let's say it's pejorative language, fine, granted, for argument's sake, you think any of that comes close to speaking about aborting black male babies? Literally speaking about eugenics? You think calling okay, fine, a darker skinned black woman that's heavy set with a broad nose and super kinky 4C hair, fine. Let's put all the stereotypes in there. You think calling her ugly is the same as saying, yeah, you should have never been born? Huh. These are the people that's supposed to be the moral center of the universe, y'all. The moral compass of America, the moral compass of the black community. This is them. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Better You. And Dr. Thunder says, here to support you, bro. Right? And thank you very much for the super chat, Dr. Thunder. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. Right? And it's this is why we're covering it, to say even when non-black folks, I guarantee you the person that flagged it was a non-black man. I guarantee you the person that reviewed it was a non-black man. Well, we know YouTube was not created by black men, right? So all of this has no black man fingerprints nowhere near this, and yet Cynthia G and Samantha Cooker and Storm Monroe think the problem is what? Oh yeah, black men, because it's always Tyrone's fault, even when he's not in the room. It's always Jermaine's fault, even when he's not in the room, right? It's always their fault, even when they're not in the room. Right? Absolutely insane. But this is what passes in the black community for entertainment, right? For wisdom for black women, for advocating for black women, for getting black men back, right? What did Samantha Cooker say? Yeah, when we square up with them, what do you mean square? I hope you don't really mean like literally square up. Because black women couldn't square up against black men. How? Right? You mean a person that can't do a squat is going to square up against black men in general? Uh-oh. Can you do a push-up? Uh-oh. Crunches? Yikes. Square up. Shut up. I swear they think they be saying something. See, when we square up with them, square up. What language are you speaking right now? Square up. Square up. Right? So we know you're saying verbally square up, but even with that, y'all going too far. Dear Miss Samantha Cooker, Dear Miss Samantha Cooker, y'all are in your bubbles. You're in your echo chamber. So you really think that talking about genocide and eugenics on black men is okay? And yes, we do live in an anti-black society, but yeah, you're not gonna get away with that. Not now. Not with. Let me get this right. Conservative white men have said, okay, liberals, I see your culture war, and I'm going to engage now. And you think in this environment, with Edward Blum on a tear, with conservative white men saying, okay, yeah, now we'll engage in the culture war too. Good luck. You think this is a good time with Christian conservatives? You think this is a good time to be talking about eugenics and genocide? Yeah, even if it's about black men, okay, fine. Even if it's about black boys and black males, fine. You think this is a good time to be defending a black woman that's talking about eugenics and genocide? You think right now is a good time? Talk about tone deaf, right? Better you say it's Zadynomics, Mr. Z. We're using that. Put it in the book, Zadynomics, right? You think this is a good time to be using eugenics and genocidal language about black men and boys? Now? In 2023? With what's going on in Israel? With what's going on in the Ukraine? I said, I don't know why Mr. Z keep on saying the Ukraine. Ukraine. Right? And you just talk, we live in a country where the median household income is $74,000. $74,000 a year currently. And yet, Cynthia G, Chrissy, Yanni, Paris, Samantha Cooker, I mean, the list goes forever. Lexus Exodus, Mahogany, all of these people talking about black men like black men have done nothing because white folks are out here making zillions of dollars. Ain't no poor white person, unless they're the absolute biggest crackhead ever. Meanwhile, median household income in America is $74,000 a year, right? $74,000 a year, and I'm really trying to speak over the bass because I'm off of the route I usually take. So of course, the car behind me. Yeah, welcome to South Florida, everyone. Y'all hear that? That's bass. Somebody's trunk knocking. Anyway, right? Okay. So better use it. F boy Joe keeps putting the in front of Ukraine. Maybe that's what's throwing me off too. But you only say the when it's like islands, right? Was a series of islands. That's why it's the Bahamas, the Philippines, etc., etc. The Hawaiian Islands. Although we just say Hawaii, right? But yeah, I'm really trying to speak over this bass, but I can't help it for at least a good another 10 to 15 seconds. Anyway, but yeah, so we covering this because even with the current environment, these people still are adamant that they should be able to talk about aborting black male babies. They should still be able to talk about eugenics on black male babies. They still should talk about ending your life. They still should be able to talk about you like you're a dog. They still should be able to go to tap white zaddy on the shoulder. Listen, black men have done this and this and that to me. They want to paint you like you're a white man, but white men know that you're not a white man. Right? They're just talking out of their ass, everyone. Miss Samantha Cooker, you either don't realize what you're saying, you do, or you're attempting to gaslight black men, but unfortunately for you, black men work with white men. Black men work with white men. Black men go to happy hour with white men. Black men play flag football with white men, right? Company wide baseball with white men. We know what they on. We know what they're on better than you do. And you know that, and Chrissy knows that, and Yanni knows that, and you're still selling your subscribers on crap. And when I say white men, read all non-black men, because Latino men also. And the only reason we're really covering this is the excuses and watching Samantha Cooker try to tie herself into knots, because the eugenist Cynthia G finally got her channel demonetized. And Samantha Cooker and her subscribers are like, wait, what did she say? She didn't say anything wrong. What did she say? Because advocating for eugenics, after World War II, even white folks were like, yeah, we can't say that out loud anymore. Planned Parenthood, anyone? Right? Planned Parenthood, anyone? There we go. Goddamn. Right? Even white folks knew better than to say it out loud. And thank you for the super chat, the ruthless, heartless revelator. And I'll just read your comment here. And the ruthless, heartless revelator also says, look how long it took. Exactly. Right. You really think you can talk that reckless? I get it. Okay, black men. It's black men. I mean, right? Cynthia G and Samantha Cooker remind me of the older white man that killed one of those boys. It was two brothers, I think. And the white neighbor accused them of running in his house and stealing one of his guns or whatnot. And the white man killed the boy in front of his mother, right? Shot the boy in front of his mother. And if I'm not mistaken, he was in court saying, like, excuse my language, what? He's just the N-word. All I did was shoot an N-word or something like that, right? And that's what Samantha Cooker and Cynthia G remind me of. What? It's just black men. I mean, I'm just advocating for black men to be aborted, for black boys to be aborted, for black babies to be aborted, black male babies. I mean, what's so egregious about that? What's so heinous about that? Wait, all of a sudden, people care about black boys? Right? Y'all are so tone deaf. Cynthia G, you are so tone deaf. Samantha Cooker, you are so tone deaf. You really think you could keep on gaslighting us with these mythical, magical, non-black men? Meanwhile, every once in a while is a video of a white man saying, black women, get off my dick. Stop gaslighting black men with mythical, magical me. Huh. But can't help yourself. So, Miss Samantha Cooker, you gotta do better. You have to think. You have to talk about things where there's no facts and there's no history. Have fun with that. Where we could just like do a quick Google search and be like, well, Pew Research disagrees with that, and Brookings Institute disagrees with that. See, you got to stick to your anecdotal experiences, because the second you start speaking about things and start comparing black men to non-black men, ooh, it's gonna get real ugly. Right? The marriage rate is going to the crapper. See, unlike what we do in the black community where we turn around and blame black men for everything wrong, you know what white society is doing right now? They're starting to ask them, wait a minute, what's going on? Why are all our boys deciding not to go to college? Right? Wait a minute, what's going on? Our boys are not asking girls out. They're not getting married. They don't want to have children. Wait a minute, what's going on? This is where Scott Galloway comes in. This is where Rod Shetty comes in. This is where Richard Reeves come in. This is where McConaughey comes in. Even Bill Maher comes in. Right? This is where Tucker Carlson comes in. And these are everybody from liberals to conservatives across the board. Not in the black community. Oh no, it's character flaw in black men. Right? It's character flaw in black men. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So white society's dealing with this and like, wait a minute, skirt, wait a minute. Did we go too far in the female empowerment thing? Wait a minute. We might have left our sons behind. Who are our daughters going to marry? Right? What can we do to help to give our sons a leg up? That's what white society's on right now. Now the black community sounds like, well, Cynthia G. And Samantha Cooker says, is it white supremacy or are they just doing the right things? Do they just value marriage? Meanwhile, the whitey McWhite man, Dr. Richard Reeves says, actually, it is anti-blackness and it's pretty much squarely on the shoulders of black boys and men. But don't let that get in the way of your hateful rhetoric, Samantha Cooker. Right? Huh. The whitey McWhite man, Dr. Richard Reeves says, yeah. You know, the white man that's looking for Kimberly Crenshaw so he could give her a piece of his mind? Because the way she used intersectionality to pretty much benign neglect black boys and black men? Yeah, that white man. But, you know, don't let that get in the way of your rhetoric, Samantha Cooker, because you know better than him, the researcher from the Brookings Institute, because your anecdotes matter more than the researcher who pores over numbers and studies and data and history all day, every day. What you're saying is more important and more accurate than what he's saying, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it. Right. And thank you, Namer, Sean Hannity, the folks at Daily Wire, The Blaze, Vice, Vox, and so on. All these people like, wait a minute, something's going on with the boys and the men, and it's not just the individual problem. Wait a minute, it's not just a character flaw. Meanwhile, the black community sounds like Steve Harvey. Uh-oh. Huh? Sounds like Boyce Watkins. Yikes. Sounds like Willie D. Oops. Sounds like Samantha Cooker. Sounds like Cynthia G. Huh? Character flaw, right? It's something up with the boys. Y'all don't want to marry these single mothers, and y'all don't want to do this, and y'all don't want to do that. And y'all not building, and y'all, you know. Well, we're going to go back to the early 90s. It's the hip-hop music. It's the music. It's that rap crap. Right? How frightening is it to be so resentful and angry at black men that you let white society outmaneuver you to say, yeah, this is a systemic issue, right? Black America is over here trying to make it character flaw on black men and black boys, the reason why they're struggling, and white society is saying, yeah, all of the boys and men are struggling because we might have went a little too far and a little too fast with the women empowerment thing. And then you have people like Richard Reeves who saying, we don't want to take away from the women. We just got to balance this out by doing for working class and normal men. Because the elite men are doing well. They're good. but all the other men not so much. Huh. Indigo floats in Drapetomania 2.0. Not the plantation, right? Huh. This is fascinating. Listening to y'all talk, listening to y'all tie yourselves into pretzels after Cynthia G got her channel demonetized after spending years speaking about eugenics, sounding like Hitler. And y'all would say, well, what did she say? I mean, she's just stating facts. What did she say? What did she say? Right? And Big Kev says, and thank you very much for the super chat. Big Kev says, Gynocrats don't want to accept accountability. What? Right? Of course not. Of course. To think that you could speak about eugenics for years, have a video up there for 2 years, and then, oh my God, they demonetized my channel. First, they demonetized that video. Then they demonetized her channel, from my understanding. I might have the timeline a little wrong. Cynthia G, that's because they probably went through all those videos and like, oh my God, she didn't just say this type of stuff once. Shut the whole thing down. Cynthia G, Samantha Cooker, you think it's okay to talk about eugenics? Yes, even if it's about black boys and men in America. You think that's okay? Post World War II? Okay, fine. I'm not even going to call black men your men. I'm not going to say these are your brothers. I'm not going to do none of that. You think it's okay? You think that's an appropriate response to what? Not finding a certain hue of black women attractive? Maybe calling a black woman ugly, making fun of her hair, making fun of what her skin tone? Aborting black male babies is the response to that? No, I gotta say it like this so y'all can see how juvenile and insane you sound. This is why I said petulant children throwing temper tantrums. Now that doesn't mean your words and actions in which you advocate for doesn't have real life consequences. But I want to show how petty you are. I know y'all like to make it seem like petty's a cool thing now. Like being an adult and being petty is cool. I don't know where y'all got this from. But this is classic Azealia. This is Azealia Banks. Because as I said before, you remember Azealia Banks, they fried her on Wildin' Out, DC Young Fly being the primary dude, and then DC Young Fly baby mom passes away, surgery, et cetera, et cetera. And Azealia Banks takes that moment to dance on her grave because obviously DC Young Fly was in love with her. This is the same thing Samantha Cooker and Cynthia G engage in. It's never a wrong time. It's never inappropriate. Dance on Kevin Samuels' grave. Dance on Kobe's grave. Hope Jamie Foxx dies. Right? Poke fun at DC Young Fly. Say he deserved it. It's never an inappropriate time when it comes to making fun and insulting black men. Right? While you claim moral high ground and intersectionality and we're y'all are punching down on us. Once again, I don't know how we're punching down on someone that's supposed to be better than us. Right? You say we're punching down. Kim Foster says we're beneath her. Choose one. right? Y'all brag about having all these degrees and making this money and being employed here and these condos and these cars that y'all own and all of this stuff, and yet y'all say we're punching down on you. What? Right? And the 18th letter says, I hate that Chrissy and Paris are smart enough to lay low. Their channel should have been first to be demonetized. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But Chrissy marketing, and she already Chrissy know the crap storm that's coming. That's why, okay, once again, 18, that's why occasionally, and we both peep, she puts out one of those disclaimers. "Well, I'm not telling y'all to worship at the altar of white men," and then she spends the next, dozen or 2 dozen videos defecating on black men, comparing black men to non-black men, and obviously deeming black men lacking. And then she'll come out with another video saying, well, actually, white men aren't all of that, and Latino men are the best men in the world. I'm just saying, expand your options, be open to everything. And then once again, she'll spend another dozen or 2 dozen defecating on black men again. Right? But and Samantha Cooker even said it. If y'all think the alpha, and that's why I said it, that's why I keep y'all names in my mouth. If the alphabet boys is coming after us, they coming after y'all too. There is no way you think I'm gonna let the black manosphere just be out here. Meanwhile, y'all advocating for abortion of black boys just because they're black boys, because you're mad at his daddy, or you're mad at your father, you're mad at just black men in general. Kim Foster over here, throwing rocks and hiding her hand and then trying to snitch to white daddy society. You think I'm gonna just let the black manosphere be out here assed out? Oh no. Right? You got not parents. You have Yeti out here pretending like she don't understand where someone like the lady with the Indian cat at Cheesecake Factory, where she came from, where her ideology came from women like you. Now I know you're younger than her, but from women like you, Yanni. Women like you, Yanni. I want to be a kept woman of leisure. I want to be a kept woman of leisure. Then when someone like this lady pops up, whether older or younger than you, then y'all act like, oh my God, where did she come from? From women like you. What do I look like? I saw that interview. What do I look like going into Cheesecake Factory? I have a reputation to maintain. What? Y'all gas these women's heads up with all of this fake ass opulent crap. You go on one expensive date with one dude in 3-4 years of dating. 2, 3, 4 years of dating. You go on one date for $300 and something, $400. You act like that's a thing. You show off. You take pictures of the receipt. You take pictures of the food. And then when other women look at that and say, oh, I got to do that too, and they start talking crazy to men and recording themselves doing it, then all of a sudden y'all like, oh my God, where did she come from? From you. From you. From women like you. Those women are your ideological children. This is y'all. Mr. Z has been so careful with my channel. I don't talk about black women a certain way. I don't compare black women to white women and then deem them lacking. You see white women over here doing this, what y'all doing? White women build what they mandate, what y'all doing? Latina women do this, what y'all doing? I've been just so because I've been around non-black people. I know what's going on in their communities, the little dark secret stuff. So what I'm not gonna do is compare black women to other broken ass women that y'all don't know what the hell's going on in their community. Because if white women were that great, then they wouldn't have a 50% divorce rate, and we're not even counting separated. You could bring that up to like 60, 65%. I'm not comparing black women to Latina women because they have a out of wedlock birth rate of over 50%. And that's in America. We ain't even counting what Latinas are on back in Central and South America. But y'all keep on comparing black men to men that if I put you in a relationship with him, you would know why white women divorce him. Why Latina women are like, yeah, I had a baby with this dude, but I don't know about marriage. Black women gotta be the funniest women with this, um, with the best man on the planet, but talking crap. Right? Y'all are not the best men on the planet. Which one of the men do you think is the best? Let me put you in a relationship with him. Let's see if you can actually stay. Remember, Crystalline Kerosene had the white man. How did that work out for her? She's still talking crap. How did that work out for her? Huh? Uh-oh. Name it. Y'all got a handful of people y'all holding on to. Y'all better hope Eve never filed for divorce. Right? Y'all better hope Tika Sumter never filed for divorce. Or the other way. Ooh, what about if Buddy Rowe filed for divorce on Tika Sumter? Y'all just don't know what y'all talking about. You just don't. And this is my point. And Michael Ross says, and this is Black, shout out to Black Uru. This is Black Uru's point. And Michael Ross says, most of these other groups of women are at least smart enough to keep the knife behind their backs. Exactly. Shout out to Michael Ross. Exactly. That's the only thing black women, but outside, like, and here's the thing. Even most black women, they're not this loud. The internet done bought something out of y'all on a whole nother level. Y'all don't even know how to play this close to chess. Boy, they gave y'all social media and y'all acted a goddamn fool. Right? Absolutely insane on social media. Absolutely crazy. And then you think, like, just like me and Indigo Flow says, they think that there's a special pass. You got to shine your melanin on Twitter and stuff like that so that other people could see your comments. Non-black people are reading your comments. Dear black women. Dear black women, non-black people watched you show your ass on Kevin Samuel's show. Let's be honest. Y'all knew that. That's why y'all was so pissed. Because, at one point, Mr. Z wanted to go for a CDL. And I still actually do want to go back for my CDL. And there was a white dude that I used to watch his things when I was working on my permit, and I saw him in Kevin Samuels' live chat. White dudes was watching Kevin Samuels. They were sharing Kevin Samuels. Dear black women, do you know what that means for your image? Of course you do. That's why you were so mad. Black women, it's not going to be black men. It's not. I've been saying that since I came into the black manosphere. It's not going to be black men that put a foot in your ass. It's going to be white men. Have you ever heard of Edward Blum? And he's not the only one. Y'all go find out. Y'all keep on y'all playing. Y'all go find out. Right? And thank you for the super chat 18 letter. He said, oh yeah, we read that already, but let's read it again. I hate that Chrissy and Paris are smart enough to lay low. Their channel should have been first to be demonetized. I agree with that 100. And thank you, Eric Denman. That's what I was trying to read. Eric Denman says, and thank you for the super chat. Cynthia G's channel, Getting Snatched, has the divester shook. Yanni is trying to pivot to the both sides are wrong narrative now. Less reckless. Of course, but Yanni's been playing that hopscotch thing for years. She's been doing the 1 foot in and 1 foot out thing for years. That's her way of trying to, like, you know, leverage this. Chrissy does the whole black men ain't ish, and then just put out one little video of, but I'm not telling you to worship at the altar of white men. And then once again, she'll go back to how many videos of black men ain't ish. So Eric Denman, yeah, Yanni trying to pivot. Paris been pivoting. Paris been slowly making luxury lifestyle content, and this is my life, and this is what's going on with my life content. Because I will give Chrissy and shout out to 18 letter. We spoke about this. I will give Chrissy and Paris this. They knew there was a market cap to this this rhetoric. They knew there was a market cap to this rhetoric, right? So of course Cynthia G channel was going to get snatched. That was always going to happen. She was always her rhetoric was just insane. And let's see how long before Lexus Exodus. Maybe Lexus Exodus isn't doing the numbers, and maybe that's why they didn't go after her channel, because her crap sound homophobic too. Not only is she using eugenics type language and straight up, she's to be honest with you, Lexus Exodus might be even worse than Cynthia G. But her channel just ain't doing the numbers that Cynthia G channel is doing. But you bold to be calling Beyonce's mom a mammy, to be calling Tina Knowles a mammy, right? So yeah, like I said, they're in their bubbles, in their echo chambers, and I think it's just wholly desensitized them to how crazy they actually sound to everyone else. I think they actually think what they're saying is not that crazy and extreme. Like, they've been in their bubbles for way too long. And I know there's brothers gonna be like, no, they understand, but they're doing it anyway. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm adding to what you're saying by saying, also, they've been in their bubbles for so long. Their rhetoric, that's crazy. They think it's like, right? And once again, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Eric Deadman. And Mr. Shook to you says, only if he owns the Cheesecake Factory. I haven't even make it to the end. And Mr. Shook to you says, only if he owns the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. Only if she said it twice. Only if he owns the what did he say? But the bus. Only if he owns the bus. Only if he owns the bus. Right? This is you gotta love you. I said it. The internet will expose us all, dear Samantha Cooker. The internet will expose us all. All the resentment and anger that black women have been harboring since the plantation at black men. All the anger y'all been harboring because you weren't Miss Anne. All you've done with social media is blurt it out of your mouth. You just vomit it out. That your biggest resentment towards black men is that black men did not make you upper middle class and above white women. And that's all this comes down to at the end of the day. So when someone like Mr. Z says the internet will expose us all, Exhibit A, you. Exhibit B, Cynthia G with her daddy issues. Right? That's all. That's all. Right? Only if he owns the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. And that is how they're speaking. It's just, it's crazy hearing black people in general. Because hearing black people talk about quote unquote building. hearing black women talk about quote unquote building. While now it's a little different post COVID, but while we were in the middle of a 40-year low in entrepreneurship, just speaks to how tone deaf black people were. Number one, black women specifically, and how much of Milton Friedman-esque rhetoric we were regurgitating. 40-year low in entrepreneurship across America. I didn't say just for black people. And yet, women like Ebony K. Williams is talking about building. It's talking about ownership. It's talking about entrepreneurship. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to own something. Please understand, Mr. Z is not making excuses for not owning, for not trying to start businesses. What I'm saying is, obviously something's up with the environment. And black people are not worried about what's up with the environment. They're just saying, why don't we own all these businesses? Non-black people got this, and don't you see, Latinos got that, and da. Are they scaling up? Uh-oh. Can they scale it? Or once they try to scale it, Jeff Bezos is waiting around the corner like, Playboy, where you think you going? Right? Is Jeff Bezos waiting around the corner like Stewie waiting for Brian? You gonna pay what you owe, man. Right? Huh. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Shook to you. And the Ruthless Heartless Revelator says, and thank you for the super chat, black women are going to end up more marginalized than black men in this country a lot sooner than they think. You know, and you know, y'all know Mr. Z and his bleeding heart liberal, so I gotta say it. Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you. The Ruthless Heartless Revelator. I'm gonna say the Revelator. It's already happening. It's already happened, but it's happening. It's already happening. Right? It's already happening. If black men were that crappy and non-black men were that great and black women were that great, we already know black men are the ones that go up, they walk up, they're the ones that ask out. Isn't that what the Indian cat did with Miss Cheesecake Factory? Cheesecake Factory. And that's look at that. By the way, black women, you don't but y'all don't know what y'all be doing to y'all reputation. Shout out to Shay Sade. We already know how many non-black men, their biggest fear, even the ones that are attracted to black women, is that black women are way too sassy, black women with their attitudes, black women are not going to be interested. And this lady just proved all of them right. Remember, black men, you're the dumb ones. You're the unintelligent ones. You're the myopic ones. The non-black man that's shorter than her walked up to her, asked her out, was going to take her out to a nice fancy restaurant. She was an hour late, so you proved the stereotype that black women are late. Was super sassy, didn't get out the car, don't eat cheesecake, so you proved that black women are insufferable, black women are sassy, you're recording yourself, black women stay on their phone on social media. But yet somehow black men are at fault for this one too, huh? Absolutely insane. And so, Ruthless Revelator, I agree, and that's unfortunate. Because black men are men. They could do passport bros in a way that black women just can't do passport girls. It's not this. I've said it before. Y'all got about 24 countries, man. 24. Because you're not just looking for a man, let's be honest. You're looking for a lifestyle provided by a man. And pretty much, if you're not trying to deal with a corrupt leader or the child of a corrupt leader or some, you know, paying his employees a penny an hour. You got about 2 dozen countries. Black men have the entire planet. You have about 2 dozen countries. The Japans, the South Koreas, right? The Singapores, the, once again, Canada and Britain, France, Spain, Germany, stuff like that, right? Give or take 2 dozen. If I really want to be, if I want to be the most generous ever, 30 countries out of 200, dear black women, there you go. But you don't hear me though. Don't worry about it, right? Huh? Y'all don't hear me though. But all right, I guess y'all showing y'all ass way too much on social media. It's crazy. And the thing is, you actually think you're doing a disservice to black men's image. That's the most insane part, is black women swear they're doing a disservice because why? Y'all got the random Vincent LeBeau, right? So you got one Vincent LeBeau and his handful of other white men that speak like him, and you think that means something? What, white racist men that are okay with being in a relationship, intimate relationship, and being married to black women, possibly? And you think that means something? Right? So I agree with the ruthless revelator on this one. And Michael Ross, thank you for the super chat. Once again, thank you for the super chat. The ruthless heartless revelator. There we go. And Michael Ross, thank you for the super sticker. Right. So, you know, on that note, everyone, we're about to close out. I wanted to come to y'all with this because I think Miss Samantha Cooker, with this kind of, you know, what are we gonna do? Damage control of Cynthia G, right? Is that what we're gonna call it? Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Sorry, this ain't it. And on that note, you know, you really try to reframe genocide, and I'm gonna probably rename this "Reframing Eugenics," because it's more eugenics than genocide. But either way, right? The art of reframing eugenics, the art of reframing genocide. And the reason, you know what, maybe I will leave genocide, because even Cynthia G said she used the word genocide. I know y'all think this is genocide, but absolute, that's insane. And then for Samantha Cooker to be like, well, I mean, what did she do? I mean, what did she say? What did she say that was wrong? I don't know. Maybe aborting black male babies because black men, adult men, didn't build black women Wakanda and make black women upper middle class white women? Maybe that's the problem, especially in a Judeo-Christian country. You know, post World War II with Adolf Hitler? Maybe that's the problem? Maybe you shouldn't be speaking about that while we have Israel and Palestine going on right now, and, you know, maybe that's not smart. Maybe it's not smart to be speaking about genocide, you know, with Ukraine and Russia going on right now. Maybe it's not smart, you know. Maybe a little tone deaf, just a little bit, you know. Maybe it's not that smart to be speaking like that with the repeal of Roe versus Wade. I mean, maybe. Maybe you don't want to be speaking about eugenics after Roe versus Wade was overturned. I mean, maybe, you know. But what does Mr. Z know? What does Z know? Anyway, everyone, on that note, we will pause right here for real. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Go check out Black Manosphere content. Go check out other non-Black Manosphere content, for the love of God. Please, so y'all don't sound like these people. Oh my God. right? Like, look, y'all. Yeah, black women might be in a pain in the ass. But this one ain't most black women. Most black women don't sound like Samantha Cooker and Cynthia G. Now that one, yeah, they might be a pain in the ass, but they don't sound like this. This is something else. We might have our problems, but excusing genocide and eugenics, yeah, they're not on this. At least not yet, right? So on that note, y'all have a great rest of y'all day, and Mr. Z out. All right, everyone. And I gotta read this last one from Grab Second Gear Eddie. And Grab Second Gear Eddie says they shouldn't have been saying in the first place in America. I agree. And on that note, we'll close out. All right, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.